Mars and Venus in Capricorn, Mercury in Aquarius. This is what we're going to talk about today in this week's energy forecast for March 7th through March 13th. Hey, my friend, Danny Simoniz here, your spiritual designer, helping you find clarity on your spiritual journey. Join me today as we dive into what's going on in our sky over this next week and beyond. So today we're going to talk about our moon, where our moon energy is going to be. As you know, I love to talk about this because this is our emotional, intuitive, innate energy. And so when we look at where it's at and where we're going to be in an emotional, energetic standpoint, it helps us not only prepare for our week, it helps us be our most productive, and it helps us tune in to what's going to be best for us to work on throughout this week and use this energy. We're also going to talk about Mars and Venus, who, as we've been talking about, have been really close together over the past couple of weeks. And so they both entered a new sign, which is our sign of Capricorn. So we're going to talk about what that shift is going to make for us. And we also had Mercury move into Aquarius on Sunday, March 6th. So we're going to talk about how long Mercury is going to be in Aquarius and what that means for us as well. So let's go ahead and get started. Let me share my screen and let's begin. All right, as we can see here, let's see if I can move my chart. That didn't work. Let me try that again. I have do you know when you have too many screens up? Yeah, that's what was going on. Okay, let's try that again. So here we go. Here is our, yes, this is our, I was like, wanted to make sure this is our for 8:48 a.m. currently in Central Time. And so this is where our, as of right now, as of me recording this, this is where our planets are right now. But we're going to move forward and talk about where everything's going to be at. But I want you to see this as I show you this every single time, because I think it's important for you to see, even if you don't understand what any of it means, you can start to maybe over these weeks, as we do these every single week, you might start to get some type of intuitive hits on maybe what this means or how it even is showing up for you. So we see that our moon is currently right here in Aries. So our moon moved into Aries Saturday afternoon into Sunday, and will be there all day today. So if you have had any impulsivity, whether that is in your conversations, in your feelings, in your buying, you know, that was me this weekend, definitely was that Aries energy. If there's any conflict that you got into where that was not normally the case, definitely could have been that Aries energy. So this is also really good energy though for starting things, for getting things going, for getting into action. We can use this energy, especially earth signs, really good to use this energy to get you out and going and moving. Highly recommend using this. Next, we have our moon will be moving into our beautiful earth energy of Taurus. So tomorrow, Tuesday, March 8th, we will be in Taurus, and we'll be in Taurus for Tuesday, Wednesday, and then part of Thursday. Like the first half of the day will be half in Taurus, and then we'll be moving into Gemini. So when our moon is in Taurus, this is a very grounded energy. It's earth energy. So we've been so, you know, if we've used this energy and we've gone with Aries, that energy can tend to go. It can be the starter, but it's not the one that can carry it through. With Taurus, we can ground into that energy and keep it a little bit longer, keep it going. So with Taurus, I'd recommend if you started anything to keep it going with the Taurus energy over this week. This is also a really good time to get into work, like get into things, get into working on projects, get into doing the actual work. any project you're working on, anything at home, this is a really good time to do things within the home, to shift things in the home, to clean in the home, to change things, right? Move things around. You might even might feel called to want to stay at home a little bit more with this energy. And then you also will find that maybe you want to connect with nature a little bit more, whether that's going outside, sitting outside, being outside, going for a walk, whatever it might be. You might want to feel like going outside a little bit more. This can be a really good energy also to work on money, to work on Excel, like if you're working any Excel projects, or if you're working on money beliefs, any money habits, or changing money, or doing your finances, paying your bills, that type of energy would be really, really good to do under this energy. So let's go ahead and advance over to our Thursday, where we'll see our shift from still in Taurus here. If we advance it over to 12 p.m., we'll see that it starts to, actually it'll be 2 p.m. Central. You'll see that it'll move into Gemini. So now that our moon is in Gemini, this is an air energy. So air energy is where things are more quick. This isn't the time to get into projects. This isn't the time to get into deeper research. This is quick research. This is quick wrapping up of things. This is quick errands. This is a very moving energy and not necessarily in a physical way. It could be in communication, in social energy. It could also be in like finishing really quick projects. So I like to think of this energy as you're moving from project to project to project to project. It's not like I'm going to sit here and work on this email, or work on this landing page, or work on the sales page, or work on this email series, not necessarily on an air day. Generally on air day, it's like putting the final pieces on that email, putting the final touches on that sales page, putting the final touches on that landing page, taking quick pictures, connecting with your community, with your friends, going to a class, anything learning is, Gemini is so curious that it loves to learn. So if you're going to a class, or you can feel the energy of wanting to learn and do something. So it's YouTube videos, right? Books. If you're somebody who holds classes or courses, this is a good time to have a masterclass, have a workshop, have a class of some sort, because people are in the energy of learning. And then finally, as we move on to our Saturday is still in Gemini. So Friday, Saturday will still be in Gemini, as you can see here. On Saturday, still there. And then we get to Sunday, where our moon will move into Cancer. So we're going to end this week in a water moon, in a Cancer moon. And these tend to be, water moons tend to be times that are good for self-care, that are good for taking care of yourself, nurturing yourself. Cancer is a very nurturing sign. It is a water sign, so it's a very emotional sign as well, very intuitive as well. So if you might feel like a little bit maybe like taking it easy, slowing down. You might be emotional, even your home, you might want to connect to your family, or your home, or your roots, or your ancestors. This would be a really good time to do that as well while the moon is transiting through Cancer. I would highly, highly recommend doing some self-care on this day, or days in particular, because we're going to gear up for our next fire sign, which will be Leo. And so we want to make sure that we're filling our cup, because throughout this week, if you look at this, we start off in our Aries, our fire sign, and we're going to go through all the elements all week long. And so we're going to be using up, and if we're using the energy right, we're using the energy up to keep us in momentum, to keep us in productivity, to keep us going. The thing is, though, is that we need to make sure that we're refueling. So we can refuel on our water days, which is really, really nice, so that we can gear up for our fire day, which is coming up. So keep that in mind as you're looking at your week ahead, as you're planning your week out and the things that you're going to do. Look at how you can shift your energy on the things that you're doing. Also pay attention to the energy so that you can see how you work with water days or air days or earth days, because some of the air signs struggle a little bit on earth days, where some of the earth signs struggle on air days. Some of the water signs can tend to, struggle with fire days. So I just want you to pay attention to how you feel on each day so you can get to know how these moons affect you. All right, so let's get into our Mars and Venus. So let's go ahead. And we can see it here still. They're still in, they're going to be in this energy for a while, Mars and Venus. But Mars and Venus moved into Capricorn at the end of February. So about February 28th, one moved in and then the other. And it's really nice right now, as I've been saying, that Mars and Venus are kind of hanging out together. So previously in our Aquarius energy, they have been more of, not an Aquarius energy, I take that back, in our Sagittarius energy, they have been more, what's the word? They've been a bit more social, a little bit more out there. They've been about expanding things. Like, Mars, I think of expanding out with what it is that we're doing, like getting our eggs in a lot of baskets, so to speak, with Sagittarius. It's like spreading things out. With Venus, the same thing. It's like spreading out our love, spreading out our money, spreading out our, like, what we're doing and how we're interacting with people, really spreading ourselves out, which is great because we're exploring what is possible for us. So if you're single and you've been like wanting to date a bunch of different people, totally see this, where you're spreading this around to see like, who's the right one for me, right? Or you might be feeling that energy. In Capricorn, though, both of these signs get very settled. Capricorn is an earth sign, and it is our sign that is all about that long-term stability, that foundation. This is a very determined, persevering sign. And so when Mars and Venus are both in this sign, our will, our motivation, our determination is all about setting this foundation, really settling in. And so because we've been out exploring, we can see what things have been working for us and things that have not been working for us. So when we look at this idea of romance, dating, you might have been, right, or you've been thinking about it with these other people, like dating other people or being around other people, even friendships, very social, right? But then it's like, oh, wait, hold on. But that really wasn't that great for me, and that wasn't that great for me. This guy looks like we can stay the long term. So maybe I'm going to hang out with him a little bit more, right? Or with your money, you might be looking at the longer investments now. Maybe you've been looking at a couple of different things, or you've been thinking about it, but you haven't actually, like, you're ready to now put that long-term plan into place, right? That retirement, the steps into place, or that retirement fund into place, or even thinking about any long-term investments. I had a client the other day who came to me, and we were talking about her buying a house, and she's thinking about making that type of an investment right now, which I thought was so funny because Venus had just moved into Capricorn. So it's these types of ideas that we might have our focus on a little bit more during this energy. So if there's things that you've been wanting to maybe set some foundations for, as it relates to the things of love, beauty, money, your will, your motivation, even the things that you have within your home, your car, any of those types of things, I want you to think about how these things are creating stability for you, how these things are creating a solid foundation for you, because these are the things that we want to look at. Now, when we talk about will and motivation with Mars, if there is something that you need that staying power to keep going, to keep pursuing, to keep working on, this is the time to use this energy. This is the time to keep it going. The things that you're doing now to really set that habit for the future. They say it takes 90 days to change a habit. I don't believe in that. I actually think it takes, or they say 60 days or 45 days. There's so many different things out there. I feel like it takes way longer than 90 days. I've tested this myself. Really working through changing behavior takes a little bit longer, right? And it's not only changing the actual thing, but it's changing how we're thinking about it, how we're viewing it. So use this Mars energy to work through those things so that you can keep that solid foundation going. So this can be a long-term change. All right, next let's talk about Mercury in Aquarius. So Mercury will be in Aquarius from March 6th through March 23rd. Now, this is only a short little period of time, but Mercury in Aquarius is all about our future thinking. It is the innovative, progressive energy. So Aquarius is an air sign, and it is a very social sign. It loves friends, it loves communities, it loves the social communities, as well as social justice topics, right? It's the humanitarian. It's looking out for the greater good of all. And so our thinking, right? Because Mercury rules our thinking, our communication. It also rules short travel, our neighborhood, our siblings. And so when we think about these two energies coming together, while Mercury transits through Aquarius, there's probably some thinking and communicating that you are going to have or are already having about the future, about how we can progress, about how we can grow, not only as a person, but also as a community, as a society, as a country, as a world, right? Looking at these bigger topics. So you might find that over the next couple of weeks, there's going to be a lot of talk about this, right? And we can see some of this already starting to unveil. Freedom is also a really big thing with Aquarius. Aquarius needs its space, it needs its freedom, and it needs its independence. So we may see some more of this from ourselves, of seeking some more independence, some more freedom, like, let me be free with my thought, let me be free with my communication, right? Let me have this openness, right, to explore, to share. So you might find this as well, not only from yourself, but others, and again, from our society and collective energy as well. Now, the last thing with the Mercury in Aquarius is this is a really good time, and I want to bring this to you because I'm all about growth, personal development, spiritual growth, growing on this path, evolving our soul, evolving us so that we can evolve the world around us. And so this is a really good time with Aquarius to work on some of the things that we can detach our emotions from, where we can pull back. Aquarius is the sign that is the least emotional. And I don't mean that they don't have any emotion. They're just really able to just detach from the emotion, where like a Cancer or a Pisces or Scorpio even, it's a lot harder for them. But Aquarius can detach. And so we can use this to our advantage to be able to look at things from a very detached perspective, where we're not always getting so emotionally caught up. Trust me, I'm a Cancer moon and I understand emotion quite a bit, and I understand getting caught up in emotion, and I understand the beauty of being able to detach from it and look at a situation from a different set of eyes, from a different perspective, where I'm not emotionally caught up in it or driven by it, but I can see from more of an intellectual standpoint what is going on. And so we can use this energy to help us look at things not only in our life, but around us, to take a step back and say, okay, I'm not going to get emotionally caught up in this. What am I actually looking at? What is actually going on, right? The really beautiful thing about this too is that it can, or not so beautiful, is it can get us caught up in our head. So I want to caution you for that too, because Aquarius can get really, really caught up in their thinking, in how they're seeing something, so much so that they believe that's the only way. And there's no other way. And so although it is a great sign to be able to detach from the emotion, it can also get really caught up in the intellectual ideas of it. And it takes a lot to move us out of it. So I just want you to be very, very cautious of that as well. All right, so the last thing I am going to talk about is the Sun conjunct Jupiter. As it's been, we've been leading up to this over the past couple of weeks. We are here now, and it will be in this energy throughout this week. So in this energy, there's a lot of vibrancy, a lot of light for us, a lot of growth and expansion of our conscious collective. So our consciousness and our conscious collective. So I want you to use this time and use this energy to really expand, to really grow. This is super powerful energy here. Use this to your advantage. What is it that you're wanting to step into? What is it that you're wanting to achieve? What is it, where are you wanting to grow and expand? Use this week to really set some of those things in motion, or really get clear about what it is that you're wanting to do in the future. That is it, my friend. This has been our energy forecast for the week of March 7th through March 13th. As always, I'd love to hear what you're going to use this energy for. And if you have any questions, feel free to leave them down below in the comments. Be sure to check out, actually, I didn't say this at the top, but let me go back and give you our oil for the week, because this is, we're transitioning through a lot of really good energy to use. So I'm actually going to, I'm going to recommend our oil for the week of peppermint. And the reason I'm actually recommending peppermint is because peppermint can really help with focus. And because we have this energy with Capricorn and this, I'm sorry, with, well, Capricorn with Mars and Venus, but more so Taurus and Gemini, there's a lot of things that we can really get done in this week if we really focus in on what it is that we're doing. And peppermint is such a beautiful oil to help us do that. So if you have it in like a roller ball with, is just a few drops of peppermint with some fractionated coconut oil, that's what I have in this one. Or if you just have the bottle of peppermint, you can take that and put that on your hands and breathe it in, and then breathe it through your aura, how I like to say it, breathe it through your aura to really help you not only get more alert, to be more awake, but also to help you focus in. You can also diffuse it. I have a diffuser here on my desk, and you can diffuse it and use, have it fill your room or your space wherever it is that you're working. That's another really great way to do it as well. All right, my friend, that is it for us this week. I hope you have a beautiful new week. And if you want to learn more about astrology and essential oils, I am doing some classes later on this month in March and April. You can check the link down below to get access to those classes. And if you just want a personal astrological aromatherapy consult, I have a link down in my comment in the description below where you can get one of those as well, and use the code FIRST for the first one, and it's absolutely free. All right, my friend, this wraps up our energy forecast for this week. Remember, close your eyes and take a deep breath and find peace.